All right, here's an odd video with this framing. So Vietnam is a lot of fun. I've arrived yesterday, and let me just tell you of the journey arriving here. I couldn't be bothered to actually record everything because I'm very, very lightly packed, but everything was in a stark contrast this time compared to when I tried to leave the country last time, and it went so well. So I showed up, I checked in. Last time it was a nightmare, obviously. My passport wasn't valid for long enough. This time I check in. My brand new schwanky passport works perfectly, no problem. And I guess because I got there early enough, probably definitely before I needed to, that I didn't realize it until it came time to board onto the plane, but I was in zone 1. So that meant that I got priority seating on the plane. So I was like right up at the front, which was amazing. And then once I got on the plane, then nobody sat next to me. It was like, I don't remember the time that a flight went so well. So that was really cool. The flight was over in a heartbeat. We landed, and then once we were here, it was immediately off to like just fun times. I got out, and I have the assumption that any taxi that you're going to take from an airport is probably going to rinse you compared to what you would pay if you just did like, you knew whatever the local system was, but that's okay. I don't mind doing it the first time, and then I can learn later, and I'll convert the currency to know I'm not paying like $50 for a cab ride. But I get a cab ride from this very young guy. Again, the fearlessness with which certain southeastern countries are willing to try and speak English is one of the most impressive traits, I can say, because it is in stark contrast. I won't even say to Japan necessarily, although it is, but even to myself, like my willingness to awkwardly stumble through the language never got to the openness that I see the average southeastern individual having, whether it's in Bangkok or it's in Da Nang. I was calling it Da Nang, but I think this is Da Nang. So that's really cool. He's chatting me up. He's like, what's your name? What number you? And I was like, what was he talking about? Number? I was like, phone number? And then he was like, I'm 25. I was like, okay, he's 25. So I was like, yeah, I'm 39. He's like, cool. We should, I'll get your WhatsApp. I was like, okay. I mean, we can barely communicate, but I like this. This is cool. This is one of the reasons I would travel, is these sort of novel, humanistic moments that you can have with people. So said, sure, why not? And I gave him my WhatsApp. I don't even really use WhatsApp. I just have it on my phone. He was like, cool. All right, thank you so much. And then we're driving a little bit further. He's like, you like music? I was like, yeah. He's got a CD player. I was like, this is the coolest. He put on some music, and then he was like, you like to smoke? I was like, I did. I smoked. I did the odd thing. You know how they have the like checkup, or you may not know this, but each year in Japan they do a health checkup every single year if you're working for like a board of education or something. And when I moved to Kyoto for a period of time, I'm influenced sometimes, and the people there love smoking cigarettes, and I was like, well, I could smoke a cigarette. And then for about a year and a half there, I was just like smoking like a chimney, which was odd because I went into my health check. This is the thing I'm talking about. And then the lady there was like, you smoke? I was like, this year. And she was like, you're 38. What are you doing? I was like, that's a very good point. That's a legitimate point. Not many people starting to smoke when they're 38. So I have since then quit. But with an offer of such kindness, I wasn't going to turn this guy down for the experience. So I had a dirty coffin nail with him. As soon as I grabbed one, he grabbed one, and then we're all puffing. We're puffing our way back to the hotel, which was awesome. You know, just a random. That is something I'll guarantee you're not going to experience in Vancouver when you leave the airport. Nobody's going to offer you a cigarette on the way to your hotel, I don't think, and then smoke it in their cab. I was like, okay. So the next thing that happened, I got here, the hotel's great, the people are cool. I hate, like scaring hotel staff. That's the worst thing in the world. So they're like, they're the most wonderful people. I check in, that's good. This room is awesome, it's very good. And then I went out, now that I'm kind of settled, I went out to grab a little bit to eat, incredibly affordable, like $5 Canadian for this like beef thing, huge pile, like they use the entire veggie store for the, for the spinach that I got. It was crazy. It was like it would have been if you had gone and bought your own spinach at the store and then made the entire portion for yourself. That's what it would have been. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I loaded up on the veggies, and then once I had the veggies in my system and I was, paying just that $5 for dinner, I went out to walk the streets, and with the camera I was going to take some shots, take some pictures, get a little bit of feeling for the local area. I'm walking along, and many of the restaurants here, they're all open air because it's so hot, obviously, and so you get like cool kind of open air restaurants, often with lots of bright colors to attract people to go to them. So natural place to take some cool pictures. And I'm walking by and I'm snapping a few shots, and then two of the employees come out and they go, hey, hey. And I was like, oh, I'm probably going to get told off. Like, I should be more conscientious about the photos. Like, might make people feel uncomfortable. I try to, but you never know when somebody might say something to you. It's just the nature of the game, careful though you may be. And they came out, and instead of saying that, they were like, oh, we saw you taking pictures. Do you mind taking pictures of us? It's like, what? That's an incredibly affable, kind, like unexpected thing to do. So yeah, it was this guy and a girl. They came out, young employees. They came out and were like posing and doing all these pictures, and then I looked at them with them, which was really cool. I was like, that's another chance experience that I was not expecting to have here, which was really cool. I had an annoying experience at the gym this morning. It's going to happen when you're at international gyms and you don't know the standards that are set there. But multiple times there were people using not 2, but 3 different stations. And then when they'd been away from one for about 5 minutes, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to try it. And in 2 occasions, I had people come up and say, hey, I'm using this. And they don't speak English well enough that I said, okay, that's fine, but you should be aware using 2 stations is bad. Like, you should use one and then finish. That way everybody gets fair use. And then this dumb little Twinkie girlfriend was like, points at me and goes, he doesn't understand. And I was like, oh my God, you don't understand. But people are coming from different gyms all over the place. So natural gym etiquette, if you are in a professional gym, it is that you would use one station, not be on your phone the whole time, and then move so everybody gets fair use. But you don't know it, so I'm not going to cause a scene in my 3 days that I'm here and start something with this little bald dude. He's evil. He was bald. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, bald people. You're good. You get a bad rap. So that was a funny thing to experience this morning, but really, people, I know you're getting that glow around it because you just arrived and everything's new and fun, but no, I've had a couple of experiences now that were, outside the standard, and it's not just on the way back from the airport, that were really cool. The Vietnamese people, very nice and incredibly engaging, they just want to talk to you. Even with limited English again, I'm like, that's very impressive. So it's been awesome. I've had a great time, and now I'm going to go out to, I looked up this cafe, it's called Lighthouse. And where do you go in a storm? You go to the Lighthouse. So I have a ton of work to do. We've had so much good progress with the project, and I believe that we will hit our April 26th beta release, closed beta. It's going to be a small select group, but we're on track so long as I continue to work my ass off, even in the days here that I am in Vietnam. But I'm going to a cool cafe and I'm just going to chill and eat croissants and stuff. So it's a pretty good deal. All right, there's my little intro. I will, in the following days, I'll probably walk around depending on the amount of work that's done and film some more, and maybe I can show you that. But probably gonna upload this for the following day, I think. All right, that's it. Little window into what's going on here. I hope you're well, and don't do anything they tell you to do at the end of YouTube videos.